This segment is about adding and formatting shapes as well as creating and formatting charts and graphs. So we'll just start with a slide that is based on a just a blank background slide. So it does have the footer and the title or header, however you'd like to call it, area, but it has nothing else included. So we will just start by inserting shapes. So what we can do is come over here to shapes. We can choose a shape that we like and simply click. It will come in pre-formatted to whatever the default was. So for example here, if we want the default to be blue with no outline, we can set that up. We can also type within it and determine what size we want for the font. So if we want the font to be 12 point bold and we want it to be light blue, for example, we can certainly set that up. Now, if we know that we are going to be using this repetitively, we can simply right-click and choose Set as Default Shape. The benefit of doing that is every time you insert a new shape, regardless of the type of shape, so if we want to do this, it would automatically come in pre-formatted to the way that we would like it to present. We still have the ability, of course, to size them in any way that we want, to copy and paste to create multiples. So all of that is still intact. We just have the benefit of not having to reformat over and over. So if we've applied the formatting to all that we want that are the same and then decide that we want to change that formatting, we can certainly do that at any time. So we can change the background to be pretty much anything that we may need or want. The shape background can even be a picture. So we can make those backgrounds anything that we may like. Obviously, that's typically not something that we would want to do, but we certainly can. We also have the opportunity to change a shape. So for example, here we can go to change shape. Even though this was set up as a triangle, we can turn it into a square. And you will see that it is turned to a square, but the background image that was inserted is not, so that is why it is performing differently. So we'll just wanted to show you how it doesn't always look the way that you would expect it to based on some other properties beyond our control. So again, we'll just insert end item. Great, and now if we want to change that, we will come back. We can make it green, for example. We may want to have a orange border. Obviously we don't. It's just good contrast for a screen recording. And then we can assign this as the default object. Now whenever we do another one, insert, shape, whatever we choose, not a problem. It will come in the way that we expect it to come in. And then we are good to go. We can also edit our shapes as far as changing them, but we can also edit them as far as the actual edit points. So we can edit the points as well. So if we wanted this to be a unique shape, we can do that and then click out. So we do have the ability to do that as well. It clearly doesn't work as efficiently as the Adobe products would, but it does allow you to use some of that functionality. Next, we'll be going over charts and graphs. So as we went over previously, you can use your charts and graphs by the bullet layout where you can choose charts and graphs, but the other option is you can insert it wherever you may need it. So here, for example, we can choose whatever type of chart or graph we want. We may want to just choose a cluster bar. So we can do that, and then we can just close out of this, and we'll see that it is here, and we do have an opportunity to change colors. So these are the default colors here. But if we want it to be all blues or all greens, etc., we can do that. We can change the quick layout. So the quick layout is basically how certain things are presented. So we would have our series on one side versus another, where we have our numbers. If we have a table underneath supporting the data, we can even change our text color. So then we would go to home, go to our text color, and we can apply that. Any number of things can be done. We can also come over here and we have various chart options as far as looks. So there are a multitude of options to choose from here. And we'll just go back to the beginning to the one that would probably be among the most appropriate for your needs. So we'll just do that, and then we will go back to the default text color. So we have that all set up now. And if we decided at this point that we needed to change the chart type, we can do that as well. So if we decided that we no longer want a bar but we want a column instead, we simply choose column and you see that it will automatically adjust for you. You can also go to line. Obviously, with some of these various options, it will not work based on data that is being presented, but it will give you a good idea of what is available. You also have the opportunity to add or remove chart elements. So for example, here, if you wanted to add a data table underneath, you certainly can. So we can add that data table to be supportive, and we can even change elements within that data table. So for example, we currently do not have legends on the data table, but we can add the legends. So now we have the legends here, and then if we chose to, we can remove them from here. We can also change how much space items take up. We can make them shorter, taller, etc. So we can do that inside, or we can do it with the whole table itself. So again, many options. If you wanted to do it this way, it will automatically shrink up for you to a point. Same with this, it will shrink up to a point. Then if you need the text to be smaller for some reason, come up here. If you select the entire table, it will reduce font sizes proportionally across everything. So for example, here, this is now 7 point, and this is 8.4, just based on how it was predetermined. So you can always bump things up individually. So if you wanted this is the 8.4, and then this is 7 point. So there is still a difference. If you wanted this to be bold, simply apply bold. You can make any changes that you need to it. And that is the summary for adding and modifying shapes and creating and formatting charts and graphs. Thank you.